So applications can, peoples of groups can. 24 groups were there in that 6 groups has been created. Sorry. 18 groups has been created. 6 groups has been updated. Okay. Now you can go ahead and you can check the entitlement page. Entitlement catalog. No, you will be able to see all people soft click on the advanced search, select particular application. So these are. The entitlement has been created. I mean has been imported from that feed file. I'll come to your question when I your question. Yeah, hi Rakesh. I entitlement. I want. We did the group aggregation. So what I want to be used, you know, the delimiter file for the application for bringing the groups in for the application. Right, but my question is practical scenarios. Okay. For example, I'm just taking a very vague example. For example, if we have some application like ServiceNow, let's just say this now would have its own entitlements, right? Right. So how is everything operated in the form of groups? Or can we import some other kind of entitlement as well which are not group types like which can be of something else? I mean, I don't know what. So the moment you said groups means are you talking about task type groups or you're talking about particular attribute? Okay. My only concern is if we have some other kind of application which is managing accesses in the form of some kind of, maybe in service. Now there would be some kind of rules and something like which are managing accesses. If you have to take your group, only add object. I will be group and you are going to import those entitlement where group aggregation only. Okay, so let's talk about some. Yeah, we need to go ahead. So for all applications. It means, be it any application, we map it with groups for the access. Is it right? Okay, so for each and every application in real-time project for client, I have seen there will be 2 tasks. One will be account aggregation. One will be account group aggregation. So account aggregation task is responsible for aggregate all the identities, to import all the identities. Account group aggregation is responsible for to import all the entitlements. So in Sailpoint, we are going to consider them as entitlement. But when from application team, it could be anything. When it comes to Active Directory team, they will consider as a group. As you said, service. Now they will be mentioning some. They will be calling it some different name. But when it comes to from Sailpoint perspective, we are going to call them as entitlement. Is it clear? Okay, thanks. Yeah. So this is how we are going to import all the entitlements. And to add one more point, in Sailpoint, you are allowed to request in either entitlement or rules. Apart from that, you won't be able to request anything. So we have some customization. We will talk about later. If you want to request any other thing like capabilities, we can do that using other connector. So let's talk about later. So guys, just make a note if you want to learn these things. So I'll cover these things. So like loopback connector, we have loopback connector. if you're going to install those loopback connector. Using that, you can request capabilities as well. So I have learned from the real-time project only. So we will talk about later if time permits. If you want, you can make a note. I'll explain whenever time comes. So let's talk about entitlement creation. If application team is facing, they couldn't create some entitlement? In that scenario, they will raise ticket, and we are the one who is going to create. So just go to Entitlement Catalog. Guys, just for quick check. Are you able to see this? I can add new entitlement. We have imported that file right. Import LCMXML. So after that, you will be able to see this icon. So whenever you get a requirement to create any entitlement, just click on the Add New Entitlement. So in the ticket itself, they will be mentioning which application. So you can select the same particular application. You can, as of now, select PeopleSoft. So from here, type is going to be entitlement. I have selected entitlement. Attribute which attribute. So I have already shown this employee ID and manager. We can set from application schema. The moment you are going to select any attribute and attribute as entitlement, it will be populated here. So you can select attribute. No need to worry about this type and attribute because application team will be provided in the ticket. So just you have to select. You have to select the right thing. Value. It's always going to be entitlement name. Okay. So let me add in the lowercase entitlement name. But display name. I'm going to be in the proper case. So it will be visible in the proper case for the backend user. So this entitlement, we can make them as requestable, which means it will be visible in the access request page. So end user can select this entitlement and they can submit. Description has to be proper. So application team will be provided. We can do the same, copy-paste. And owner. Who is going to be the owner for this entitlement? You can select and just say that's it. This is how you are going to create an entitlement. So now we have created one entitlement. So using this advanced search, you can easily search. That's it. So the entitlement name, this is the one we have created now. Nas and Johnson is the owner. Let's go ahead. Access request page. Manage user access page. Just click on that. Let me try to submit this access request. Okay. So here you won't be able to see the entitlement name. It won't be visible. Do you have any idea why? The entitlement which we created. Entitlement name. It's not visible. No search results. Any idea? No. No. Okay. Because whenever we are going to create any entitlement, so we need to run one more task called full text index refresh. We need to run Let's go to Task. Run the full text index. Refresh. This is a task you have to execute. Which means the task is responsible to refresh all the entitlement. Okay. Now you can go ahead and click on the search. It will be visible entitlement name. Owner is Nas and Johnson's. So you should know, whenever you're going to create any entitlement, you have to run the particular task name called full text index refresh. You can select the end user. The end user can select this entitlement, and they can submit the access request.